Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my F1 2018 mod career mode on the F1 2017 game as Sebastian Vettel. We are here for round number 3 for the Chinese Grand Prix, and I've got to say straight off the bat, an absolutely incredible race in real life, and hopefully we can replicate something similar in this episode. If you guys did miss the last one, then I do urge you to go check the link in the description down below, and also the card annotation in the top right hand corner of your screen. But welcome back guys to a brand new episode, and wow, what a race we had in real life. An absolutely brilliant race won by Daniel Ricciardo, and it was really intense, and definitely the race of the season so far, and yeah, really enjoyable. So let's see how this one goes, but I hope you guys are enjoying this series and the content on the channel lately. If you're new around here, then I do urge you to go turn your notifications, or even if you are a subscriber from a long time ago and you haven't done so, then I do urge you to go turn your notifications on, because that way you won't miss a single upload from me on this channel. But as you can see, jumping into Saturday qualifying, and straight away in Q1 we went out on the super soft tyres, and we go fastest. No ultra softs in this one, as it is the 2017 game obviously, and no ultras in this, but we do go fastest in Q1 on the fastest available super softs, and that sees us comfortably through into Q2, where we went for the slower soft compound tyres, and going for a bit of a race strategy that's similar to the real life Grand Prix, so opting for the slower tyre to start the race on this one, and fingers crossed it works out for us. And so far the lap is going absolutely brilliantly, and the car feels hooked up, an absolute treat around here. Really good car underneath me, and we're going to come across the line now on the softs to go P5, and a pretty good lap there, about a second off the pace, but in the grand scheme of things it's not too bad, and we are going to comfortably get through into the final part of qualifying in P5 there, 1.2 behind Valtteri Bottas, who's setting the pace, and Charles Leclerc there, honourable mention to him getting through in P10 in the Sauber into Q3. But now we're going to move into the best lap of qualifying, and the one that I could pull off the best as Sebastian Vettel. So into turn 1, you want to try and really throw your car in here. Go down a gear just to really get the nose in, and then eventually go down a few more. You want to get it down to third gear by turn 2, which is this corner right here when you click the apex. Turn 3, throw the car in there and get the power on as soon as you're there. Try and run a nice wide line if you can. It's important to get the traction on as soon as possible through turn 4, as we now go through the kink of 5 and brake hard into the heavy brake zone of 6. Bang on the 100-meter ball down to third gear, pick up the apex, and then avoid the curb on the left-hand side to get good traction. Now throwing the car into turn number 7, absolutely flat out, no dramas here, and you want to set up the car for turn 8. Down a couple of gears, use fourth to really get the nose in, and play around with the gears to your liking, and then turn 9 and 10, a double apex left-hander, very tricky one. 10, if you can keep it flat out the better, because you're going to gain a lot of time through there, and then we brake hard at the 100-meter board down to third gear for 11 on the apex, then flicking it right into 12, losing the back end slightly there as we now go through this long swooping banking, and you have a lot of patience here. Try to get the throttle on as soon as possible, keep it nice and tight if you want to gain maximum lap time. And now we wait for the DRS to become available on this 1 kilometer back straight. So far the lap has been absolutely perfect, and we're improving on our previous attempt, but now we're going to brake hard for the hairpin just after the 100-meter ball down to third gear, pick up your apex, get the traction on as soon as you dare, avoid the curb on the left hand side, and now through this final corner is where I lost a lot of time on my first attempt. This time though, really attacking the corner, making the most of the fact the ball wasn't there, so as someone took it out, and across the line. That is a lap of the Shanghai circuit, pretty much a perfect lap to be honest, no mistakes, and we take second place. So overall a very good qualifying session there, and a lap that I was actually pretty damn happy with. So yeah, very good indeed. Bottas actually took pole, just pretty much like the real life Grand Prix. He really has some great pace in qualifying, and he looked the faster of the 2 silver arrows here. But as you can see, we've got Lewis Hamilton here, and also there is the pole man himself, Valtteri Bottas, in first place for the Mercedes team, who look very sharp around here, and they're going to be hard to beat. But looking at the grid now, like I said, Bottas in first, Vettel ourselves, we start in second place, and then in P3 it's going to be pretty damn interesting, because we've got lots of battles everywhere, with Hamilton in third, Verstappen in fourth, and then we've got Raikkonen in fifth ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, the eventual race winner in real life. Pierre Gasly in a brilliant 7th place ahead of Hulkenberg. Grosjean and Leclerc ran out of top 10 with Perez and Ocon on the 6th row, Alonso and Magnussen, Hartley and Sirotkin. Carlos Sainz down in P17 there, with Stoffel Van Dorn alongside, and finally Lance Stroll and Marcus Ericsson bring up the rear. But that is the grid, and we're now going to move into round 3 for the Chinese Grand Prix. It's race day for the Chinese Grand Prix. P2 on the grid, on the front row, alongside Valtteri Bottas. Very good qualifying yesterday, and Bottas is having some incredible pace putting together a really stunning lap in Q3, but hopefully we can try and overturn it and try and get a good race result for us. We are going to be the odd one out in this sort of front leading pack, starting on the soft compound tyres. I believe I'm the only person in the top 10, or one of only a couple of people to do so. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how the race pans out in terms of the strategy, because if we look on screen, it's going to be an expected one stop going from cloudy to completely sunny conditions, and we're going to try and pull off the one stop similar to what I'm going to guess is what happened in the real life race with Sebastian Vettel on Sunday. So let's see how this one pans out, and fingers crossed it works out okay for us and we can try and have a good race and try and score another positive result. So overall looking pretty good, feeling pretty confident. So let's just jump into it now for round number 3 for the Chinese Grand Prix. Okay then, here we go. We're going to get ready to the 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go at Shanghai. So pretty good start on the soft compound tyres. We fly past Bottas straight away into turn 1 now on the inside, and we're going to get the lead of the race. I got Bottas going on the outside trying to have a look here. We're just going to run a bit wide, and I think Bottas might have gone for a spin here. I think he might have gone for a spin. Now the Red Bulls are in 2nd and 3rd, so we're leading the way here at Shanghai. And who's behind us here? Verstappen's right behind us, right on my chuff here, and we have got a breakaway already. So Bottas has had some sort of issue, I think, and he's dropped through the field a little bit. But either way, we're in the lead of the race, and that is very good for us, especially on this compound of tyre. So let's see what our pace is like going into this race. Overall, I feel pretty damn confident. This car feels very good around here, similar to the real life Grand Prix. So fingers crossed we can try and convert this confidence into a positive race result. At the minute, the pace we're setting is pretty damn good, and me and Verstappen are just absolutely running away with it. And Verstappen's actually going to get a bit close here. Is he going to go for a dive? I don't think he is. I'm just going to sort of cover off the inside and make sure Verstappen doesn't really have a look at it. But right now, we're really leaving Ricciardo behind, who has also got company of his own. And this train is really starting to just break apart now. Me and Verstappen really setting the pace alight, and we're really quick right now. So yeah, so far so good. DRS though is now available, so Verstappen could well be now a threat, and Hamilton has in the P3, so he might be chasing us down very soon. I've had a great exit onto the back straight, but now Verstappen is going to open up DRS, so let's see if he gets close enough for a move. Right now he's a bit far back, but he is gaining slowly but surely into the brake zone, into the hairpin. We're just going to cut off the inside slightly, but no major threat just yet. Hamilton is catching very quick. He is definitely a fast man on the track by a country mile here, so he's going to be on the back of us very soon as we now go into the start of lap number 4. Verstappen DRS once again on the pit straight. Is he close enough for a move into turn 1? No, he's not, so we're going to hold on for at least a little bit longer here. Okay, this time Verstappen might be a threat. He's going to be a lot closer this time round, so we're going to pull over to the inside and go defensive. Raikkonen now is the next man to break the train, and he's in P4, and he's going to be catching up to us very soon as well. So I'm starting to hold a bit of a train here on this soft compound tyre. So far I can defend, but I'm sort of hoping that super soft starts to wear out, to be honest, because these guys' pace is actually really impressive thus far. But so far we're holding on to the race, still setting our personal best in the process, and not having to use any of the rich mix just yet. Oh, we've got a yellow flag, and I think either Hamilton or Verstappen have got a problem. We'll find out very soon, but one of these two guys have an issue with their car, and it's actually Raikkonen. Never mind, it's none of those two. It's Raikkonen just behind who's retired. So that is my teammate out of the race and my second man and rear gunner out of the Grand Prix. So it's good news for me, as it means there's one less threat for the race win. However, out of all the guys that I wanted, my teammate probably isn't the one that I wanted to drop out of the race. So frustrating. You just saw there personal best by about 4/10. So we're pacing ourselves on these tyres. We're not rushing into anything. We've still got plenty of life left in these. The car's performing well, and so far we're really just sort of setting a really good pace here. Verstappen couldn't even have a go at me in that last lap. Okay, Verstappen's really close this time. I'm going to go defensive really early on here. He's going to get alongside me on my left-hand side. We're going to have to try and brake at least at the 100-metre board here for the hairpin to try and match him on the brakes. Holding it on the inside, leaving some room on the outside for Verstappen. Third gear action, keeping the power in there. Will Verstappen coming to the pit lane though? That's the problem here. We've got to be careful and wary. Switch back underneath Verstappen. He's taken the lead for now. DRS though open on the Ferrari. Can we try and get back past the Red Bull? He's got some pretty good straight line speed. We're going to get on the inside there into turn 1. It's close. It's very close. Inside line though. We're going to try and commit to this, keeping it nice and tight. Using the gears to get the nose in, and there we go. We've managed to hold on to our first place for now, but the battle has only just begun. Okay, Hamilton and Verstappen are scrapping it out for P2 at the minute, which is going to help me out. The question is, will they come in? Yes, they do. They're both coming at the exact same time. So presumably a two-stop strategy for those guys as we set another personal best here. And we're going long into this race on this one-stop strategy. This is the part now where it might get a little bit boring. No real action on track, but we're just going to try and keep these tyres alive. We're probably going to rejoin once we do eventually come in behind Hamilton and Verstappen. But like I said, they're on a two-stop strategy, so we can take it easy. This car is absolutely brilliant to drive. The consistency is phenomenal. Every single lap is a 37.0 or a 37.1. Every single one. And these tyres are now nearly 50% worn. The consistency, honestly, is just absolutely phenomenal. We're scheduled to pit this lap, but I'm going to probably start one more just for a precaution to make sure I can get that medium tyre to the end of the race. It's been an absolutely phenomenal first stint on this soft compound tyre. It's held up beautifully for me. The lap time has been brilliant. My last lap was that last lap, just a quarter of a second, only 2.5 tenths off of my personal best, should I say. So it's not bad by any means whatsoever. We're going to come to the pit lane now, though. Take it nice and easy. No need to take any unnecessary risks. And there we go. We get it absolutely perfect for the pit entry. Admittedly, not great vision thanks to the new T-cam I'm running. I couldn't actually see the pit line, but we managed to get it slowed down anyway. And here we go onto the jack. Nice and easy on the pit stop. No broken legs, please. And there we go. 2.6. Very good stop. Onto the medium compound tyres, and we're going to run deep into the race, and by deep I mean right to the end of the Grand Prix. Look at this, our stint has been that good. We've rejoined in first place in clean air. Hamilton now with the fast lap of the Grand Prix here, so he's going to be behind me, but we've actually extended our lead by staying out even longer. That's how good we were on the overcut, and that soft tyre, that's how good that compound was for us. Absolutely phenomenal. So we're comfortably out front here. Hamilton and Verstappen are probably going to chase me down on that super soft, which is probably still relatively new, but once they capture the back of me, we'll see what we're like. But right now, fresh tyres. Let's make sure we focus on getting this end of the race. Even if Hamilton does overtake us, he needs to make another stop, so it's pretty under control at the minute. The only thing that would ruin the party now would be a safety car. I swear it's literally been 5 seconds. I'm not even going to jinx myself. Ericsson out of the race. Anything? Okay, it looks like maybe not. I almost sort of jinxed myself there for a second. I just had a little bit of fun there, stretching my legs that lap with a little bit of rich mix, and it felt pretty damn good to be honest. But the rich mix in this mod literally just vanishes, and I've only got about one more lap left. That 1.17 equates to literally one lap, so having a little bit of fun there. I've actually extended my gap to Hamilton to 5.4 as his super soft started to wear, and that's how effective the rich mix is. In this mod, the rich mix packs a lot more of a punch than the normal game, but also wears out a lot quicker, so use it at your own risk. But so far, we're looking very under control here, and very similar to how dominant Vettel was in qualifying in the real life Grand Prix. Verstappen just came in that last lap, so I'm expecting Lewis Hamilton to follow suit at the end of this lap, so that's going to leave us pretty lonely out front, and that's going to be all okay with me. I'm not going to complain about that one bit. Okay, Lewis Hamilton comes into the pit lane, and we're pretty much cruising at this point. We're just trying to run at a pretty solid pace, but at the same time keep my tyres in check. So yeah, right now we're running out front by ourselves, standalone leaders of this Grand Prix, so let's see how this one pans out. Right now this could be a straight hard cut pretty much to the last lap, unless something goes terribly wrong, so let's see how it goes. Hamilton onto a soft compound tyre. He will be quick, but he's going to have to make up a lot of ground. I think this is definitely the story of the one-stoppers. I think we've got the strategy absolutely perfect. If you look at now at the top left, Carlos Sainz in P3, and I'm going to presume he's on the one-stop, so he could be on for a podium here in the Renault, which would be absolutely phenomenal. To say he got knocked out, I believe, in Q1 and started 17th, so or 16th. So if he pulls out of the bag, that would be absolutely phenomenal for him. Well, I can tell you Hamilton is not messing around. He's straight into the fastest laps, dropping into the 1 minute 34s. Hamilton quite comfortably. I'm in the 1 minute 36s, so he's definitely on hammer time at the minute. Okay, so far so good. Within the space of about 3 laps, Hamilton has got the gap down from a 28-second gap to 20 seconds, or just inside 20 seconds now next time he crosses the line. So he's gaining fast, but it's not going to be enough at this rate. Oh no. Okay. Oh wow, that scared me for a second there. Virtual safety car deployed. That could have been really bad, because we could have had a safety car there and been right on the back foot with this tyre, because I don't think I would have been able to squeeze in a pit stop if the safety car had come out, because I'm the one that gets hampered the most because of the delta. So yeah, I was going to say, Hamilton's pace so far is pretty impressive, not mightily. He's going faster than I did expect, I'll give him that, but I know how good that soft tyre is. That's why I'm a little bit aware that he's still a very realistic threat. So one mistake and we could be in trouble here, so I've still got to be very, very careful with what I do. And I think we have our reason why the VSC was called out. We have a slow car in the form of Pierre Gasly. That's disappointing. He was in P4 a moment ago, a few laps ago, so yeah, that's Gasly, I'm going to presume, with a puncture. So unfortunate one for the Toro Rosso driver, who similar to the real life Grand Prix. I mean, I'm recording this before Sunday, the race, just after qualifying. So based off of qualifying, he had a pretty poor session. So similarly matching up to the real life disappointment so far. Okay, here we go. 4 laps to go now, and Hamilton has got the gap inside of 15 seconds. It'll be probably a little bit less now, around 14 seconds next time he crosses the line. But he's done well to get the gap as small as it is, but I think we've got this very much under control. We deserve to win this race. We've dominated this one, and I think it's pretty much signed, sealed and delivered at this point. There we go, with gap 14.4 as expected. Hamilton's trying his hardest, but I don't think it's going to be enough. It's going to need an absolute disaster for him to try and win this race. Okay, here we go. Lewis is pretty much about 10 seconds behind me here as we go on to the last lap of the Grand Prix. It's been a very controlled race. All we've got to do now is bring it home. Here we go then, through the final couple of corners for the final time this race. A bit of a battle going on up ahead here, a couple of the Alfa Romeos, I think. But here we go, into the final corner. We're on course for a personal best, actually. So I'm going to keep it flat out to the line. But we win the Chinese Grand Prix. And unfortunately, we don't set a personal best. We fall just short by 200s there across the line. But still, a very good race. And look at that, the 2 Williams cars still scrapping it out here for the lower end places. But overall, a very good Chinese Grand Prix. We pick up, I believe, the first win of the season, because we didn't win at Bahrain or Australia. So that's a good result for us as a team, and definitely much needed for us. So overall, a very, very good result, and a good way to finalise our 3rd race of the season and get bounced back in the best possible way, as Hamilton already has 50 points to his name before this race. So now we get to sort of even up the points tally a little bit as we go into the 4th race, which isn't going to be Sochi, it's going to be Baku, because that is a new 2018 calendar. So that's going to be very interesting indeed, and a bit of a switch in the usual way things work around here. But overall, that was the Chinese Grand Prix. Okay, so looking at the final race results for China, you can see that we win the Grand Prix ahead of Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen there. Carlos Sainz gets a brilliant P4 from 17th place on the grid. Absolutely phenomenal result, and he just beats his teammate Nico Hülkenberg by less than a 10th, and both of the Renaults scoring a brilliant double points finish in 4th and 5th. Then both of the McLarens, Stoffel Van Dorn and Fernando Alonso, pulling out the one-stop strategy from 18th and 13th to come home in 6th and 7th. Absolutely incredible result for those guys, and fair play to them. Daniel Ricciardo was a little bit higher up the grid, but he got a penalty of 5 seconds added to his time. Even still, he would have finished in P8. Sergio Perez and Esteban Ocon scored double points for Force India and round out the top 10. Valtteri Bottas, after sustaining front wing damage, can only manage 13th place. And further down the order, you can see Kimi Raikkonen retired from the Grand Prix there. So disappointing from a teammate. But in terms of the driver standings, you can see Hamilton leads the way by 10 points, and we are in 2nd place. And looking pretty good so far. Kimi down in P10 needs to really get your season going. Also, same applies to Valtteri Bottas there. But in terms of the Constructors' final, you can see Red Bull lead the way, and they are tied with Mercedes for 1st place, and Ferrari, which is us, just 8 points behind. So that top 3 looking incredibly close already, and very, very promising indeed. But overall, that was it for this 3rd episode of the F1 2018 Mod Career, guys, as Sebastian Vettel. And if you have enjoyed it, then please do slap a like on the video. Let's try and smash 250 likes for this episode. Also, if you're new around here, why not subscribe and do turn on notifications to not miss any more uploads from me and my channel. Also, do check out these 2 videos on screen if you have missed them. And other than that, guys, I wish you a very good day, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.